Yes, people, what's going on? You know what time it is. We're back in the car again. We're just going to do a quick video today, basically talking about what I wish I knew before I got involved in the medical cannabis scene in the UK. Now, there's a lot that I wish I knew before I got involved, but there's also a lot that I guess, how could I know? Because there's no one out there sharing the information. So, yeah, what can I say? That's what I'm trying to do here, basically. You know, there's all sorts of things, whether we're talking about cost, whether we're talking about effects, we're talking about, you know, the actual having the conversations with the doctors. I know I was very nervous about that part. Like I was using black market when you don't really want to, but you feel like it helps you. I don't know, I feel like it eventually puts you in a position where you you think that you shouldn't be doing it, but then when you realize you should be, and you can speak to a doctor about it, you also still feel like it's hard to discuss and you shouldn't be bringing it up to him, and should I tell him how much I'm blazing, and and yeah, I think that's kind of, yeah, that was a big thing for me, to be honest with you. That was something that stopped me for ages, and I've noticed you guys in the comments, which is why I'm doing this video. You know, we've had loads and loads of comments on all the videos so far, and there's people saying, which I massively appreciate, by the way, you already know that, but a lot of yous are saying, if you're not patients yet, you're saying things like, I'm a bit nervous, or I'm unsure on how it's going to go, or I don't know about this, I don't know about that. And basically, I just want to kind of smash as much of that stuff as I can in this video today. Now, this isn't going to be the be-all and end-all. None of my videos ever are. It's just me turning the camera on now and just talking. So if there's stuff I missed, do let me know in the comments below. Maybe there's stuff that, you know, you thought specifically, you know, wasn't true about what I said, or you didn't agree with, or you did agree with. Just let me know. Just, we're here to vibe. Someone said in the last video, I think it was Patriot, man said, this is like the boys all sat around a campfire chatting it up. Love it. I fucking love it, mate. I'm here for it. Yeah, some of the repeat commenters, man. I'm trying to think of some of the names now. We got Clifton. What a guy. Comments on nearly all the videos, man. I proper appreciate it. I wish I could shout everyone out. Right off the top of my head now, I'm on. It's like I've got the limelight shining at me, and I'm like, But yeah, you know, every single one of you, I fucking appreciate you, man. So big shout outs. But basically, yeah, the big thing for me, first off the bat, was that no one tells you that it takes a while to dial in your medication and get exactly what it is you need from the medicine. And it might sound a bit weird at first, but it's because you're having to order 10 Gs of a strain that's actually got a specific terp breakdown, that if you're on black market, you don't know what the terp breakdown is. You don't know what the THC percentage is. Someone might tell you, but you don't know that's true. And they'll never tell you on black market the terpene breakdown's very rare anyway. They might tell you it's a bit gassy or it's this or that, but they won't tell you the breakdown of terps, which is, you know, if you haven't seen my terpenes video, go and check it out. That is how you get the effects from the flower. That is literally what gives you the entourage effect, and that's how the plant interacts with your endocannabinoid system and gives you the effects you desire. So you'd have something with certain terps that will give you sleepy effects or pain relieving effects. There might be other terps that will give you anxiety relieving effects, or you know, there's so many different things out there. I'm sure you get the picture. I'm not talking specifically about that today, but what I'm talking about in relation to that is it takes a while to dial that in. Like, you're buying 10 Gs at a time because that's the minimum you can buy. I wish it was less. I do wish it was less, just because you could then try a flower out before, you know, committing to 10 Gs of it. But instead, you know, you've got to commit to the 10 Gs, okay? And then you might find that that gives you a really sleepy outcome, which is not going to be ideal for you if you're trying to have it, you know, in the daytime, or it depends if you're trying to use pain relieving effects but throughout the day, but you don't want to be sleepy, you know what I mean? You're going to have to find a fine balance there, and that's something that's going to take some dialing in over time. And that's what I'm getting at here is, and nobody tells you this stuff. It's kind of like, oh, get your prescription, get your bud, there you go. But when you're trying to treat a condition, this is something that you're going to have to spend a bit of time on. And whether it's mentally noting it, which is what I've done, researching the strain you've got, the major terpenes in that strain, then mentally noting that and seeing how that makes you feel, and then using that in your next orders. And then saying, right, I tell you what, that one with those 3 major terps really, really helped me. Whereas that one with these 3 major terps, that was not for me. Now, obviously, you're going to have differences in quality as well, but that is seeming to be increasing consistently. For the most part, I've seen nothing but really good flower, to be honest with you. However, that's for the most part. I've definitely seen some shoddy, shocking bits of flower as well. I spoke about them already in I think it was in another video, and when we jumped on the live the other day, someone mentioned it as well, that they'd had the banjo from Welford Luma. Absolutely dead, mate. Absolutely dead. The Together Pharmacy Fruit Cup. Oh my God. And this is the thing, you're having to commit to 10 grams of this, and then you know, I don't know about you, but I ain't got unlimited money. I don't know that glitch. So, yeah, I'm kind of stuck with then that flower until I can afford to purchase more. And that's another thing that I wanted to brush onto as well, is cost. So if you currently consume flower on the black market, you'll know already, you know, the cost of what that costs you roughly. Now, just know, if you go properly down the medical route, you get on the dry herb vapes, you will find you will reduce your consumption massively. No one really speaks about this, but you will reduce your consumption massively, because you'll find that you don't actually need it as much as you did previously, because a lot of the time you're getting stuff off the black market that isn't what it's meant to be, doesn't give you the effects you need, so then you smoke more and more and more and more and more and more, and it just doesn't do the job. Whereas you'll find when you're dialing in, especially once you've dialed in a little bit better, you'll find you're using less and less each month. You might find yourself reducing, I know that's what I've been doing, reducing your prescription because you don't need as much. And that's a good thing. Like, at the end of the day, this is a medicine. This is not like a, I don't know how to word it, but this is something to help us to get better, to help us to deal with issues that we have. Doesn't mean that we need to have it all day, every day. We're not talking about recreational use. I think that's where I was trying to get at. If we're not talking about recreational use here, we're talking about medical use. And, you know, if you're on diazepams or gabapentins or whatever it is, you're not going to just be smashing them consistently. All right, there is people that do that, but all you're going to do is raise your tolerance. And the big thing is, I know I'm kind of flitting about here, but with the cost side of things, there is a lot of people commenting as well that have not used cannabis before, but they're on prescription pills, and they'll be taking loads of prescription pills. Now, you're paying £8 or whatever it is per prescription through the NHS. That's going to probably cost you a little bit more than that to get the flower you need. Now, it depends on how much you need. I've had people commenting they're going through 120, 150 G a month. Now, personally, I would really struggle to afford that, I'm not going to lie. But also, you know, with some of the conditions that you lot have got, I understand, you know what I mean? I understand that you're going to probably have to go for a serious amount. But no, there is ways of reducing it, man. Don't just think that, you know, just because you've been prescribed this amount and a doctor said that is what you have to consume. You don't, you know what I mean? We are our own people. We have our own autonomy. We are, you know, we can do what we want to do at the end of the day. And ultimately, for me, it's not spend all of my money on flower, because I've got a family, man. I've got things that I want to do in my life as well. Like, I don't want to spend all my dough on flower. Yeah, it's nice to have, you know, a few different things in, but at the same time, like, if you're talking even 40, 50, 60 G's a month, that's a lot when you considering, you know, I know I've heard somebody saying there was some for £30 for 10 G's the other day, which is crazy. The cheapest I've had was 45, and that was absolute trash. But then again, as I've said before, you can't just go off price, because there was some that I had that was 50, and it was unbelievable. But what I'm saying is, even £50, right? Let's say you got them all at £50, and you were on 100 grams. That's £500 a month. That's a lot of dough. So you've got to consider that as well. Like, it's worth considering. Now, like I say, if you're a black market user already, and you already use this medicine to treat yourself, then it's probably not going to be as big of a shock. You'll end up saving money in the long run, trust me, because, like, even if you went with a clinic that's got consultancy fees and shit, like, you will save money, because you jump on the dry herb vapes, you're already reducing your consumption probably like 60% or more. Then after you've jumped on the dry herb vapes and you start dialing in your temperatures, you're dialing in your terpenes, the strains you're buying, you will find that you reduce massively the amount you're using. And that's just it will come naturally over time. At least it has for me, and I found that I feel so much better for it. I mean, another one for me that I was worried about was what the doctor was going to say before I jumped into it. So I was doing it for a long time, like flitting between, should I do it, shouldn't I do it? I know I'm eligible, but it's just, I don't know. And you know, you're doing something that it's been helping you for a long time, but there's a lot of stigma attached to that thing, plus the illegality and all the bullshit attached to it, man. It just kind of makes you, at least it did with me, and I know there's a lot of using the comments. I know some people don't care, but it got me stressed and anxious and feeling like I shouldn't be doing this, and kind of beating myself up for it sometimes, and thinking that, I don't know, that it was just like I was going to be judged, basically. And alright, I'm the type of geezer that gets about, and I don't really fucking care what people think, to be honest with you, for the most part. I wasn't always like this, I suppose, but at the same time, like I'm speaking to a doctor who's going to be, you know, have access to my medical records, blah, blah, blah. They're going to be potentially like, they might have to interact with my GP and da-da-da-da. And I'm thinking, shit, man, what am I doing here? Am I going to get myself in trouble speaking about this, even going for this prescription? I don't know, I just deeped it, man. And I know a lot of you lot are doing the same. There's no need. There is absolutely no need. Like, you've got to understand as well, these doctors that you're going on video calls with, they've got back-to-back video calls lined up for the day. Like that, I'm a chatty guy. They didn't have time to chat for that long because they had more calls to do. So just understand, you know, it's not as nerve-wracking as you think. It's more in our heads when we build that type of shit up. And I understand it, don't get me wrong, I do. But that's why I put it off for so long, and then realised, what am I even doing? Like, why did I put this off? So yeah, I think that's another one. I think the cost also, like I say, and the fact that it takes a while to dial in what it is that you're after. Now, another one is taking your medicine around. That's something you're going to think about now. If you're taking it with you, you're going to need a smell-proof pouch or something, because you don't want to be going everywhere stinking of weed. Like, maybe you're not arsed. I always was like that. But I'm a dad now. I don't know, man. Do you know what? Even before I was a dad, I am conscious. When I was younger, I didn't care. I almost wore it like a badge of pride that I stunk of flavours. You know what I mean? It's crazy. But now, I don't want to have that. Like, I don't want the stigmatism attached to it. Okay, it's wrong that the stigmatism's there. It shouldn't be. But at the same time, I don't really want that, you know, affecting my work, affecting every single thing that's going on, the way that people treat you everywhere. It's not for me. I'm just not looking for that. So for me, smell proof was the way to go. And also that's why vapes smashed it, because, you know, you can vape and it doesn't even stink. You can vape in public. I could vape here right now and no one in this car park would know. Whereas if I was sparking a joint up, you best know everyone in there, and plus the people in the shop would know. So yeah, I'd say for me, I think they're the main things. You know, you're going to consume a hell of a lot less once you've dialed in, but it's going to take you some time to dial in. No one says that, but it will take you some time to dial in. The cost could be a shock to you, and that's just mainly if you're coming from somebody who's just been on prescription pills and you're trying to get rid of those prescription pills. You might be a little bit shocked by how much it might cost you, but you also might be shocked because you're going to have quite a low tolerance, so you should be able to vaporize a very small amount and it lasts you a long time. Again, depends on your condition, depends on what it is you're trying to treat. Also depends on if you get the right type of flower, because you're going to probably have less of an idea than what I had to begin with. I had a bit of an idea of the type of strains that worked for me, but I've learned every single month that, oh, actually, that doesn't work for me as good as I thought it would, or actually, that really works for me. And I've never tried something like that because I didn't like the sound of the name or the flavour, or, you know what I mean? It's a bit of a mad one, to be honest with you. But I think they're the main topics touched on. If there's anything else you guys can think of, you know, that shocked you, that you didn't know about when you got into medical cannabis, then do let us know in the comments. Let us know, let me know. No, let us know, let everyone know. There's a community here, you know what I mean? We've got like 1.7k now. It is mind-blowing, to be honest with you. I proper appreciate you, man. I say it every time, and like I say, I'll continue to say it. You're all fucking legends. Every single one of you is like, and I'm sorry that right now, like, I'm struggling getting back to the comments. Like, I'm not gonna lie, bro, like, the amount of comments coming in now is mad. Like, when I do get a chance to go on the app and look at them, I'll reply to some, but it's like I'm making a tiny dent in it, and I feel like it's crazy. When we did the live the other day, the amount of comments, we had like over 300, pardon me, we had like over 300 comments on the live. I was so took back, mate. I did not expect that one bit. I did not expect that. And it was like hard to keep track sometimes, and I think, oh, sorry lads, I'm absolutely shattered. Yeah, I think that, to be honest with you, I don't know how these streamers and that, like, you know, that are like getting, I can see the need for the super chats and stuff, because how are you going to see people's messages? You just can't. Like, I'm talking about a live I had with like 16 people on at once, and there's people that are having bloody more chats coming through in a few seconds than I had in that whole live, but it was still overwhelming for me. I really appreciate everyone who showed up. I'm shattered, man. I think that I've touched on all the topics that I needed to touch on there, but if I didn't, you know what? You know the score already. This is the vibe. This is how we roll. We're going to do the videos like this because we're enjoying it, you know what I mean? I'm enjoying it as well. That's why I haven't done a couple for the last couple of days since I've done the live. I've just been like, I've been shattered, as you can tell now. I've been absolutely shattered. And I thought to myself, you know what? Don't force myself if it's not right and it's not authentic and it's not just me chatting about something that I actually want to chat about. And if it doesn't feel right, don't force it. Like, but I do appreciate every single one of you that's like, you know, I wait for these videos. I can't wait for them to come out. You know, I sit and vape along to them every day and stuff like that. Like, it spurs me on, man. It gets me gassed up, I can't lie. But yeah, I just, the last couple of days, I just thought, if I'm not feeling it, don't force it. Oh, now I've not forced it tonight, but I tell you what, I'm shattered now, boys. So we're probably going to call it at that. There's definitely, I'm sure, there's stuff that I've not mentioned there, but we'll do another video. We'll have another chat at some point, and we'll go through other stuff that I also didn't, you know, realise and wish I knew before I started my medical cannabis journey. But for now, we're going to leave it at that. I appreciate every single one of you that likes, watches, comments, subscribes, shares. You know what I mean? I can see on the analytics people are sharing the videos on WhatsApp and stuff. You're all fucking legends, man. You are the reason that this channel is growing. So I can't say thank you enough. I really mean it from the bottom of my heart, man. It makes my day that I can do this and just have these conversations with my type of people. Like, it is crazy. Within a few months we're here. Like I say, we're on 1.7k subs now. Like, that is insane to me. That is insane. I did not think we'd get here this quick. I wonder, do you reckon we can hit 2k by the end of the year? Come on, lads, we can do it. We can do it. But yeah, either way, I just appreciate every single one of you, as always. And yeah, I hope you've learned something in today's video. I hope there's been some sort of spark there that's made you realise, like, don't worry about this too much. You know what I mean? These doctors they're actively prescribing this plant. You don't need to lie to them about the fact that you've used it already, because they know that, and that's why they're now prescribing it, because people don't need to continue to go through the black market. And at the end of the day, mate, you've got to remember, they're all making money off of it. Like, they're growing a plant and selling it at this price. The doctors are going on a video call. I don't even know what they're getting paid. Everyone's making money off it as well, so you've got to remember that. Like, it's not like they don't want you there. They do want you there. I think we just get so caught up in our heads, man. I know I've done it myself. That's why I'm saying it. This isn't about anyone particular, but we can get so caught up in our heads, and, you know, yeah, just know, don't overthink it, man. Don't overdeep it, as I say. And yeah, on that note, I'm going to stick the keys in the ignition, drive home, go and have a nice vape and get my head down. So I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for commenting, like, sharing, subscribing, the lot. Take care, and until the next one, boys. See you later.